Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Good Morning Hebrew Home. The surprise has already been given away, but have you seen? Olivia's here. I'm your host for Thursday, Liisa Murray, and
Mrs. Co-host today, Olivia Cohen.
We have a great show planned for you today. This is a special Besties co-hosting edition, so it's all friends all the time. So let's get right into it. Today is Thursday, September 24th. Summer's making its last gasps today with a high of 80 degrees, overcast skies throughout most of the day. Oh, I have a bad feeling this is going to be a giggly episode today. But
why?
enjoy.
I don't understand why you think that. It's very professional here.
Very professional. We're getting it together. So let's get right into On This Day in History. So there's a lot of baseball on this day in history today.
You do a lot of sports.
I'm not a big sports fan, but somehow the sports always happen on Thursday. I don't know. Someone out there who's a big sports fan, let me know. Thursday, a big sports day. And I think probably the baseball season ends around this time because there's a lot of things having to do with the end of the baseball season.
Wow.
So let's get right into it.
You heard it here, guys.
You heard it here last. 1919, Boston Red Sox slugger Babe Ruth sets MLB season home run record at 28 off Yankee Bob Shockey in the 2-1 loss at the Polo Grounds in New York City. The following year, in 1920, Babe Ruth becomes the first to hit 50 home runs in an MLB season with a first-inning blast off Jose Acosta in a 2-1 loss to the Washington Senators. So,
wow, that sounds big.
Yes, I agree. That's can you imagine setting a record and then the next year nearly doubling that record?
And the number 50 sounds big.
It does, right? That's a lot of runs, I think. In 1957, Jailhouse Rock, now here's something we do know about music. The Jailhouse Rock single is released by Elvis Presley and becomes the Billboard Song of the Year in 1957. In 1958, the Donna Reed show premieres on ABC.
Donna Reed?
Did you ever watch that?
No.
Kat did. It was on Nick at Night, and Donna Reed is very much the perfect housewife, like the image of the perfect 1950s housewife. In 1967, a little bit of a different vibe, The Munsters premieres on TV. Did you ever watch that one?
I did watch The Munsters.
Good. And very appropriate. We're coming up on our Halloween season and that kind of spooky feeling. And in 1995, this is a personal favorite of mine, the TV adaptation of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, starring Jennifer Eel and Colin Firth, the dreamy Colin Firth, debuts on BBC One. Did you ever see that one?
I did.
I
did. Also, I love him.
Yes.
In The King's Speech.
He's so good in The King's Speech. In Mamma Mia.
Yes.
I love him.
I forget that he was in
Mamma
Mia.
Mamma Mia. Yep. He's wonderful. That was when I watched that. That's when I fell in love with dreamy Colin Firth. Bridget Jones' Diary.
That I was watching the other day.
Does it hold up? You know how sometimes you really love a movie and then you watch it and you're like, it's not as good as I remembered. How did it hold up?
The same. Every once in a while that'll come on and I find myself, I'm stuck in front of the TV and I'm like, I have to watch it again.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I think that's probably a great film to be flipping through the dials on your television and just land on.
I don't like the third one.
The third one? Did I see the third one?
She has a baby.
No, I didn't see the third one.
Well.
And now I've got something to watch this weekend.
Now you have work to do.
I have work to do. In famous birthdays, September 24th, 1896, F. Scott Fitzgerald, American author of Great Gatsby, Zelda, born in St. Paul, Minnesota. In 1941, Linda McCartney, American photographer and musician known for Wings, and wife of Paul McCartney, was born in New York City.
Oh.
And in 1948, a favorite of mine, as you may or may not know, I'm a big comedy head. Phil Hartman, Canadian-American actor from SNL, Pee-wee's Playhouse, and then a million character roles in movies that you've watched throughout the years, was born in Brantford, Ontario. What a legend. Also known for playing many parts on The Simpsons, a great voice actor on The Simpsons. And in 1936, Jim Henson, American puppeteer, artist, screenwriter, and filmmaker, best known as the creator of The Muppets, as well as Sesame Street and The Muppet Show, was born in Greenville, Mississippi. Now, what is your favorite? First of all, are you a Muppets fan?
Yes.
Great. Good. I thought we were on the same page about that, but I
don't
just wanted
know
to
if we
confirm.
weren't. I don't know if we'd still be friends.
I'd probably have to ask you to leave the set.
Immediately.
Immediately, please exit. But what are some of your favorite Muppet things to watch? I'll start you off.
Okay.
So my younger brother and I, were big Muppet fans when we were kids. So now it's become a holiday tradition to watch a Muppet film around the holidays. So on Thanksgiving, obviously we watch Muppet Treasure Island. Nothing says Thanksgiving like Muppet Treasure Island. And then the Muppet Christmas Carol at Christmas time.
Those are my two favorites.
Those are very good, aren't they?
I remember also, like, Sesame Street was my life.
I mean, it's a classic.
I took voice lessons with this boy. They would have us do duets together. Like, we would sing like the male and female like cute songs and stuff. And he was on Sesame Street.
Oh, famous.
And I was very jealous.
Of course. I always dreamed of being on Sesame Street when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And getting to talk to Elmo or Grover was my favorite.
Yeah,
on Sesame
I wanted
Street.
to just sit on the steps, on the stoop.
On the stoop,
on
classic city kid thing to do, you know?
And talk to them.
Oh my God, or Big Bird, Snuffleupagus. We're really vibing on Sesame Street today.
And also,
Barkley the dog. I forgot about Barkley. Great call, Kat. Great call.
I also love the Muppet that he was like the chef and he was like,
Swedish Chef. He's very silly. You know, there's some things that I think are just funny, and funny noises are just funny.
And that was him.
That was him.
all him.
All him.
There's so much. Jim Henson was amazing.
And then Jim Henson's also done work in other movies. So, like, if you're a Star Wars fan, Yoda is a Muppet. I mean, Yoda's not a Muppet. Yoda's a character, but Yoda's a Muppet.
Right.
And other films, too. Like, he's done The Dark Crystal, The Labyrinth. Yes.
The Dark Crystal.
Yes. And The Dark Crystal had some very creepy.
I watched that again when I was in Iceland.
Oh, again?
I watched both.
Does it hold up?
You know, when I watched it again, I realized how much I didn't understand when I was a kid. I was like, what is this?
There's a lot of things that you're just like, okay, that's weird. And then you watch it and you go, oh, no, that's very strange. There's something really weird going on here.
That was a weird one.
So today, if you're a Muppet fan, find something Muppet to watch. Or if you liked Jim Henson, tell us your favorites. He's, a really prolific artist, and his company did so many things. So what's your favorite? So in birthdays today, staff birthdays, don't get confused. It's not your birthday.
I was reading that and I was like, I don't think that's correct.
We're early. But Olivia H. from nursing admin, happy birthday.
I'm so excited to know there's another person named Olivia here.
We gotta find her. And in residence, Miriam M. So a big happy birthday from us here.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So today's meal. So for lunch today, we have chicken Waldorf salad and macaroni salad with a black and white cookie for dessert.
I love a black and white cookie.
I love a black and white cookie. That is every time, I think I say this every time the black and white cookie comes up, but I've never made a black and white cookie, and that's something I need to do. So for dinner tonight, we'll start with tomato bisque soup. The entree is a taco platter with fried fish and yellow rice.
Oh, wow. That's new. I feel like we haven't said that on here.
Taco platter is not usually my, one of my meals of the day.
James is mixing it up.
I love it, James. Keep it up.
Keep it up.
And it's going to be served also with pineapple salsa, and the dessert is Jell-O. So viewer mail, as always, just a reminder, 2813 is the number to dial on your phone if you have anything to say about any of the things that we've been talking about here today. So Olivia's here, and I thought a little behind the scenes on the teleprompter I just wrote, Olivia's here, everyone. So I thought we would have a little special edition, Olivia and Lisa's TV Corner. So we like to do a little highbrow, lowbrow.
Yep.
So Olivia, what are your picks? What are you watching these days on TV?
So I just finished all of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh my gosh, what a great show.
And, you know, there's a loss that happens when you binge watch something and the next season isn't coming back. I have to wait till December.
Yeah. But a happy birthday for you.
I know.
When it actually is your birthday.
It's a gift. It's a gift. But what a wonderful show. I have to say, and maybe the viewers out here can relate. But one of my favorite parts of the show was when they went to the Catskills.
I know for sure there are some people who relate to that.
Oh my God. They were up in the Borscht Belt, and I was watching with my parents, and my dad, who used to go there every summer, he could relate. He was, sharing his stories. My father also sang at a number of the same places.
Right.
And they used the same names. It was really nostalgic, and I remember years ago we did a special event here, a Catskills special event.
Wow.
And I remember talking to a lot of the residents about your experiences and stuff. So it was just so funny.
That sounds great.
The acting on the show, it was such a great show to watch, especially at this time.
Yeah, give us a quick little summary. I'm sure many seasons, many things happen, but a summary of what it is and where people can watch it.
So it's on Netflix.
I think it's on Amazon Prime.
Is it Amazon Prime?
I think it's on Amazon Prime. If you've got a streaming service, Allison says
Alice
yes.
says yes.
Amazon
It's Allison
Prime.
Prime. It's Allison Prime.
It's Allison Prime. It's on Allison Prime, my favorite new streaming network. I will watch it. I bet it has a lot of good flute music on Allison Prime. Great banana bread cooking videos. Allison Prime is a great network.
Everyone tune into Allison Prime. If you're looking for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, though, it's Amazon Prime.
Yes.
And what a great show. So it is the story of a woman who is married. She's a Jewish woman, married, living in New York. She does all the things. She takes care of the house. She has 2 kids. She makes the brisket, and she does all the housewife duties. And then at night, she goes and supports her husband, who wants to become a comedian. And he's not so great. And they end up getting a divorce. And she's kind of refinding herself, and she finds out that she's actually the funny one that was in the relationship. And so we watch her go on this path of becoming a comedian herself, which was actually kind of risque at that time. Everyone saw a woman comedian, and they were like, "Whoa, you're a singer." And she's like, "No, I'm a comedian."
Yeah.
And so it just we get to see all the other people in her life and these characters that are so funny, and the family, and Tony Shalhoub, who I just love
He's
so
such
much.
a great actor.
Everyone on the show is so funny, and so
I have such a
basically
crush.
it.
I watched the first season of that show. I need to get back into it.
Yeah.
You've really been talking it up, and so I need to get back into it. But I had a very big crush on the actor who plays Lenny Bruce. Spoiler, Lenny Bruce shows up at some point.
He's great.
He's very cute.
Also, the fashion and just the time.
Great costumes.
The hats and gloves galore. I love it. I want to do that.
Does
I want to wear
anybody
hats
still
and
wear
gloves.
a hat?
That's
a little ladies who lunch quote. Any of my Sondheim fans out there will really appreciate it. Me and 2 other people watching. What a great recommendation.
Yeah.
So that's your highbrow recommendation.
That's my highbrow.
Do you have a lowbrow recommendation? Or should I come back to you?
Okay, come back.
I'll come back to you. So my highbrow recommendation, so I've been really into watching things. I just got HBO Max. So again, I've been watching a ton of things on HBO Max. So 2 of my, I'm going to say they're highbrow recommendations, but I've been watching Lovecraft Country, which is a really exciting show. It's very sci-fi. It's scary though, so don't watch if you're,
scary. I don't watch
if you're easily scared. I don't recommend it for Olivia. But if you enjoy being scared, it is a really, really well done show, I think. The acting is excellent. Again, the costumes are beautiful. It's set in the 60s. It's really a great show. And then the second one I've been watching on HBO Max is The Vow, which again, not a light watch, but it's a documentary about a cult that people became a part of and how they got them out and how they exposed the terrible practices of this cult. So I'm not giving you light watches, but I do think that they are very interesting shows, both on HBO Max. And then, so those are my highbrow recommendations.
Great.
And then my lowbrow recommendation, which I hate to even call it that, but you know we're big reality TV fans, and right now Real Housewives of Potomac is on. And if you're not watching Real Housewives of Potomac and you're a Real Housewives fan, you are missing out on the jewel of the crown.
Right.
Truly, they're doing some of the best reality TV work out there right now.
I mean, they're really putting in work right now to keep us entertained, and they're doing a great job. Is there a specific franchise?
Real Housewives of Potomac.
Potomac is the one that you're recommending.
Potomac is the one that I recommend the most. Potomac is the one. And every single woman on there is a star.
Yeah, it's true. And I think the lowbrow for me is Below Deck Med.
Ah, yes, you've been watching a lot of Below Deck Med.
I don't know if I talked about Below Deck on here before, but it's basically, a reality show all about the lives of the people who work on yachts that are chartered by rich people. And it's the behind the scenes of what's going on with the staff. And there's a lot of drama. You know, it seems in theory like a wonderful career, just go out on the seas.
These beautiful boats, you get to spend all these time in these beautiful places, except think about it, you are stuck. I mean, I love who I work with, but think about being stuck with your former colleagues for weeks straight on a boat with
you live
very
with them.
little space, living with them.
Yeah.
You know, living with anyone is hard, so.
A lot of drama.
And then the people who are come on the boat are, you know, they've got their own ideas about what they want their vacation to be.
It is true.
So.
It is true.
Well, those have been just some wonderful highbrow, lowbrow recommendations from Liisa and Olivia's TV Corner. So what are you watching these days? I always love to get a good TV recommendation. One of my residents, Cora, always gives me really good TV recommendations. Ooh. Yes. She's always like she was the first one on Tiger King when that was out.
Wow.
She's on it. She knows what's good on TV. So if you have any TV recommendations, please give us a call, 2813.
That's it.
All right, well, let's move into our positive news story of the day. I'm not going to ask you to jump in and read any of this. I chose a story with a lot of hard names to say.
Great.
So I really,
I'll sit back.
Yeah, I like to challenge myself. So older people have become younger. Study finds functional ability of seniors has improved. A study conducted at the Faculty of Sport and Health Sciences at already, I haven't even gotten to sciences. All right, at the University of Jyväskylä, Finland.
Wow.
Thank you. I studied for that one. Found that the functional ability of older people is nowadays better when it is compared to that of people at the same age 3 decades ago. The study compared the physical and cognitive performance of people between the ages of 75 and 80 with that of the same aged people in the 1990s. Among men and women between the ages of 75 and 80, muscle strength, walking speed, reaction speed, verbal fluency, reasoning, and working memory are significantly better than they were in people at the same age born earlier. Higher physical activity and increased body size explain the better walking speed and muscle strength among the later born cohort, says doctoral student Kaisa Koivunen.
Okay.
Thank you. Whereas the most important underlying factor behind the cohort differences in cognitive performance was longer education. The cohort of 75 and 80-year-olds born later has grown up and lived in a different world than did their counterparts born 3 decades ago, added researcher Matti Munuka. There have been
number 3.
Thank you.
Name number 3.
You're keeping count. There have been many favorable changes. These include better nutrition and hygiene, improvements in healthcare and the school system, better accessibility to education, and improved working life. The results suggest that increased life expectancy is accompanied by an increased number of years lived with good functional ability in later life. The observation can be explained by slower rate of change with increasing age, a higher lifetime maximum in physical performance, or a combination of the two. I think that's so exciting to hear, you know, that we are getting healthier as we get older and that we are able to maintain a little bit longer.
Yeah, it was exciting to read that things that are happening as far as like a school system and things like that have an impact on our lives.
Yeah, you wouldn't necessarily think that the schooling that you had as a child would impact your longevity or your ability to maintain mental acuity into older age. So that's very wonderful. Well, we're here at the end of the show.
Wow.
And I said all those names.
There were 3.
Thank you. So tune in later today for Wellness with Deborah at 1:30, On a Musical Note with Peter at 2:30, and Drawing with Betsy on Channel 88 at 7 p.m. If you missed any portion of today's show, it will be replayed on Channel 88 at 6:30, and you can find all of our episodes on YouTube. We will see you tomorrow.
Same time.
Same place.
Same channel.
Cohen out.
Cohen out. And now I duck.
My heart is where the Hebrew home is. For where the heart is, that's where you find the